Hi, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting of the Ways and Means Committee to order at 6 p.m. This meeting is being recorded by Ways and Means Committee. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify me at this time. And wow, we don't have anyone online. So, roll call. I'm Counselor Bottomley, Counselor Toronzo.
Here.
Counselor Master Tataro.
Here.
Counselor Brown.
Here.
Counselor Perry.
Here.
Everybody's here. And can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment? Anyone wants public comment? I don't see anybody here, so we'll move on to, I'll move on to our motions. To approve funding from capital stabilization account not to exceed 100,000 for the replacement and repair of the DPW transfer station concrete floor. And it looks, we have a couple guests today, the chief financial officer and the mayor and Paul Newell, the DPW director. So I guess to open up discussion of this, I don't know if you want to give us an overview, Paul, before we start questions. I mean, it seemed pretty clear in the packet that this was pretty critical need, but if you have any thoughts to.
Yeah, this is I would say it's an absolute need to have that repaired. It's a major part of our process in loading all the trailers, shipping the materials to either recycling facilities or to our rubbish location to dispose of all the rubbish that's overhead. So that the trucks are pretty much being emptied onto the floor. Our loader is pushing over that lip that you saw. Also, the issue is, so now we can't have the machine over that lip because there's no supporting member under the concrete floor that hangs over the trailer area.
Wow,
Yeah,
that must make things pretty difficult right now.
it does. We've had to change our whole process temporarily.
Now, that's been a slow deterioration or?
Yeah, this has been like a numerous decade of operations up there that's caused this, I believe. I think part of it was from us pushing on the floor with the bucket. We actually run a rubber edge on the bucket to try and minimize the wear of the cement. But after all the years of working it, it does degrade, wear down. And I think a lot of the cause was you get the hydraulic pressure that was running over the metal protected lift that covers the cement. I think it started to lift and all the anchors started popping up, and eventually I think it fractured some of the cement, causing the floor damage. And of course, all this pushing over the edge after 30 years almost now.
Wow, right?
Well, is there anything in the new design that would help prevent that?
Yeah, I'm actually going to meet with an engineer who's working on plans on the actual repair, what his thoughts are. I think he's talking about having a different, instead of concrete all the way out, he's talking about structural members, steel members out there. So if we do have damage, we can easily replace them versus what we're up against right now.
Well, it sounds like something that needs to get done, so.
Yeah, I don't
It
see.
would have been a lot easier if it was just an earthquake.
I know.
That did it, you know? Because some of the questions I've been hearing from people was like, well, how long did people know about this? And why did we wait until it was crisis time to do something about it? That's the kind of question
Yeah.
people have been
Yeah.
asking me, you know?
I think it's, like I said, it's only 30 years of pushing over the edge and all the friction and just the process that we use has caused the issues.
Well, when did it become critical? When the floor actually broke?
Well, I went up there, I didn't realize what the actual, you have to I'll go underneath to actually look up and see what the damage is. It's not staring in.
Now it gets dumped over into that pit,
Yes,
and that's where it gets compressed.
yes.
And isn't. What's up with the actual machine that does the compression?
Yes, the loader has a packing pole.
Right, and that's. What kind of condition is that in?
The machine itself.
Yeah,
The machine's in pretty good shape. I mean, we'll probably be looking to replace it in the next 5 years, but it's okay.
so something to plan for. then.
Yes.
So I remember this coming up kind of on Capitol before, and it's all blurred lines at this point about which was where and when at this point. But this was not on the capital list this year, correct? I feel like I've heard this though, like almost in the like 2-3 year plan, maybe out. So this is just now jumped forward.
Yeah.
Is the idea. And then, my other question, just to confirm, if I remember right, again, too many numbers 6 months ago, this is coming out of cap stabilization. We had like something like 2,055,000. Am I remembering that number right? Was what was earlier this year in that fund?
I'm gonna go get that because I don't remember. I thought there was about 1.9 million left in it, but I'll go get the.
It's pretty close. All right, so it's
Yeah,
negative.
what's up?
Yeah, about 1,000,009.
1,000,009? Okay.
Yeah.
That was before we did the vote like earlier this season.
Yes.
Right? I knew it was close to 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so that still stands as of now, correct? We haven't tapped into that? Or have we tapped into that?
There's been some. Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna get the thing.
Okay, yeah, she'll go.
It's always, at that point, it's like, I was a little bit more attuned before, but when it's like what we got and what the planning is, and then what's actually been utilized up till right
Exactly.
now, or what actually got voted on, because it was in multiple stages.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh, hey, we recommended these projects, and then we can say, okay, we had 2 mil, we took 750 grand away, we know we have 1.25 left. It was a little bit more staggered this year as opposed to other years on when those financial orders were coming in. So I just wanted to make sure that it was clear to folks, the whole lot of them that are watching.
Well, it's gonna come up, it's gonna come up again, it's gonna come up again tomorrow night, so then.
Right,
we'll have the-
exactly.
We'll have the
So-
information in front of us.
Kind of, exactly, get in
Yes.
front of the information on making sure people are clear ahead of time what it is. So we're not having like duplicitous conversations. Yeah.
Not to complicate things. We do this repair, right? And the compactor is down below. Correct?
Yes.
And we should be planning for like 5 years out for that, or, I mean, which,
When you say comp, are we talking about the loader?
no, that compresses all the stuff.
Oh, we make that at the DPW. We built all that equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that's,
it's negligible. I think it costs like $2,000 to $3,000 to make with steel cost and welding.
okay. I was just wondering if that's gonna create a problem getting down there to do that work after this work's done.
No, shouldn't be an issue.
Talking with some talk about some kind of compactor. This is that
Talking about the ship presser?
maybe it's.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Okay, yeah, that's the press down at the treatment plant.
Okay. Does that need needs attention or not?
Well, it's not even on right now. It's brand new.
Oh,
It's being
right.
installed.
So what you got here?
Oh, so
Cake maker.
after,
Yes.
so we did all the
Yeah.
capital projects, okay?
Yep.
With all of that and the ladder truck coming out of there, there's 1,459,846.57.
Got it. Ah, man, really, after
So-
7 cents.
I think yet to come out of there, however, we just voted on 90,000 for the Rockport van.
Yep.
So we subtract, and some
We
of that may come from
We haven't
left.
voted that yes tomorrow.
Okay, okay, so I'm doing that in my head.
You did.
Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah.
that that's gonna,
So
I shouldn't have said it that way, but I did. Because I thought that was last month. They all meet together.
Yeah,
I remember talking about that last week.
Right.
Okay, so if indeed you vote for that, which may come out of capital stabilization, and it also may come out of leftover money from the ladder truck, okay? That would be the first source that we will go to, because that's actually, the plan is to use as much of that as possible and not take it from capital stabilization. So, that being said, there would be $1 million, 4 million,
Right,
5
million, 3.
and
Yeah.
if we vote on this tomorrow, is that gonna affect your plans for next year?
Well, I was not planning on this at all.
Right,
This was an
that's why I'm
emergency
asking.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's why we keep something there.
yeah,
We keep some, this was like, now everybody's work is harder. I'm worried about people's backs because they're not doing it in the way.
Yeah.
In the way that is like downhill, which downhill is always easier. Were those concrete, what do you call those concrete blocks? What are those called?
Oh, Jersey barriers?
Yes, were those there before or did you?
No, we put them in there to
the
block
hole?
off access to the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that nobody falls, so the
Right.
trucks fall
Safety.
through, I think, so. Yeah, no, I was not planning on that, and I didn't see that, I don't remember seeing that on the capital plan, I was not aware that there was a problem.
I thought just that, was that not part, I know there were renovations in the like I said, it wasn't the current year. It was like in the 5-year plan, there were renovations to the floor of the transfer station. I remember seeing that previously. No?
I'm gonna look
Am
at
I
that.
having like a fever dream?
Well, maybe, well, actually, you have a great memory, so I'm not going to say that. I'm like, he's.
I just felt like there were some sort of improvements that were
There's one.
thought of.
One thing with the Swiffer grant, which is what
Yeah.
I'm struggling with. There's $40,000 to go toward putting a wall. Some kind of a wall in there that has something to do with, you can explain what the walls.
So I don't know if you're familiar where we push up the paper products. Well, right now it's tin, glass, plastic and paper now because we do.
It's a big pile.
And we only have a 2-part wall and the Swiffer grant was going to pay for an additional side so we could have a bin, an actual bin to push up against and load the trailers and through that hole that we need to have repaired.
Right, and so we have another problem. We have a rat problem at the transfer station, which I'm gonna talk about tomorrow night.
Just now?
Huh? No,
Just now?
no, it's been ongoing and really has been worse over the past 4 years since the composting was there. So we've had we've had like a special meetings on this, and Athena has been graciously gave us some ideas. Paul and I just met on this today. She's worked in this before, and it's about covering, every time you put compost in, covering it with, sawdust, carbon,
Yeah.
which she's found in different places working on that. So we're having, but it's in the wall, they're in the walls, et cetera, et cetera. So we've had a lot of meetings on this because because the whole way with the engineer, DPW, central maintenance, everybody about how to deal with that. But the way that we're going to be able to continue to do the trash and the recycling is the way the whole process is designed here. And we cover not only Greenfield, but there's things that, that we take that nobody else takes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a twofold plan with working on the composting, and in working on the rats, et cetera. It's tough, but the whole way that we're doing recycling and trash involves this process where it goes over and down the hall, and the trailers are all designed that, so it doesn't make sense fiscally to anybody else to look at it any other way, except it going downhill and into something to get compacted down. I guess.
Yeah, we have
that's it.
such volume that we move.
Huge, and it happens every day, so it's not like you can take a day to shut it all off and.
So not to stretch this out, but when the work gets done, what do you got, while the work is being done? How are you gonna be,
Well, we already can't use the opening, so we've had to move, before we went to single stream, we had a trailer that was parked on the other side of the wall where the steel bin is.
Mhm.
So we're back to parking the trailer over there and we're having to dump in the building, push up against the wall with the loader to load the bucket and then bring it
bring
outside.
it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
But Mayor, if we approve this, is this gonna affect you for the rest of the year? Do you have any alternative plans, or are you thinking about anything else, or not doing something you were thinking about doing, or?
It leaves you what, half a mil? Roughly,
No, so there's 1,000,004 if you take,
800,000,
well, really, we put that number in because of the 5-day rule.
right, yeah.
One of my very favorite things is a 5-day rule. And,
for some,
now,
apparently.
at the end, we were desperately trying to get a figure in, by noontime, by when the 5-day rule said we had to put a number in. So I would just say that we went to get that in, the number that we're working off of is 500,000, but the figure needed to be to the clerk's office
Yeah.
by noontime.
Yeah, that was fine, that's fine.
So the real figure that we're working on is a $500,000 figure. But it says you have
Yeah, right.
So we'd be like if that were to be the case, we'd still have like 800,000. in
Yes, and you
capital.
can reduce that number on the floor.
Sure.
You can reduce the number having heard what we had to say, that actually might not be a bad way to do that. I actually think that would, don't you agree?
That would be the best way, and that way we have a more accurate,
Right, and then we can go ahead, but we needed to get a number
No, I
by
understand.
noontime.
Yep, that's
Are
fine.
we sure that the engineers, he part of that 500K?
Yeah, we're trying to build that cost in, if that's what you're asking.
I mean, I don't want to end up now being,
No, that was a very. We were down to the wire. I was
Yeah.
on the phone somewhere, actually trying to get this in and begging for the
We didn't mention,
extension that we.
mention that tomorrow night.
So
that
I think
figure.
your figure
flux.
came in about a half an hour after we sent it down
Yeah.
to the clerk, so I think that the figure might really be reduced on the floor.
Yeah.
To even 525,
Yeah,
if
that'd
you
be
wanted to include the plan.
Yeah, it's helpful,
525
it's
would be.
helpful for us.
I'll leave that to you, but that is actually what happened. I'm
Yeah.
on the phone, like
That's fine.
two phones.
We understand.
Could we have like another, we don't know what the figure is gonna be, and then that came in probably about 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
And Kathy had said it could be reduced on the floor.
Well, that's why it's important to have these conversations.
Right.
I would almost rather, be safe and not spend all the money, end up not spending it all and.
Well, 300,000 is.
Change orders, I mean, who knows? I mean,
300,000 is a lot difference, and you had, the person said it was gonna be.
It shouldn't go over 5.
Yeah, but I think the public would be more happy to hear a ballpark figure of 5 than 8. You just.
So, and that is actually truthfully what happened. It was
Yeah.
like we had 10 minutes to go and I'm begging for a couple of minutes more because the person was up there looking at the floor of the station. I said, this is emergent. It needs to get through. We need to fix it before it's too cold to be fixing it.
Yep.
So, so my suggestion to you would be 50 at the,
550.
yeah, I think that is
That's a
more than
proposal.
enough.
Yeah.
And that way we haven't committed that too, because then you have to.
as in
rescind-
5,500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah, 5,500 would be, I would think more than enough, because they said 500 and they're usually.
Yeah.
That, and I'm not. So, yeah, that's what I think. And the other thing I'm not seeing on the plan, although I'm not seeing that on the long range plan, but we were talking about that wall with the SWIFT.
But this is something that would in theory happen pretty quickly, then we'd be able to get it done this.
Yeah, we have to get moving. Like I said, we already have the engineered, we have the plans already.
Okay.
So, we just need to, I was gonna meet with him on Thursday to see what he's thinking and we'll walk through it. Then we can get, quotes going for repairs.
Yeah,
No, the plan's already been paid for. The
No, it has not.
engineer has not.
No,
So this is like.
no, he's gave me the plans. I don't know why he did that.
Like a DCAM emergency kind of?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was very good
Yes.
because we really only had, like I said, that wasn't 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can guarantee our successors 30 years from now that we won't be the same place, that'll be helpful.
I mean, I'd prefer to, obviously not to say lowball it, but if you're saying we don't need the 8 that was originally in there, I'd prefer to cut it back. And then, again, we have the obligation, if you enter in a contract, you need to knowingly know you can fund the contract, right? So I mean, if the idea is that from start to finish, we can get done for, 5 or 5 and change, that would be like an amended kind of, because the order's already in, right? Or can we amend it tonight? Or
We could make the recommendation to council.
we can make a recommendation, but we have to make the amendment tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so that would be,
To,
from me at least.
well, I think it'd be helpful coming from this committee. Would you think of 550 is a good number?
555, 500.
No, 550,000.
550, yeah.
So I mean, I don't.
Because I just don't want to cut it close, because don't we have to go back, we'd have to go back for an appropriation again, which needs a first reading. So if we cut it too low, I think we want to leave some wiggle room, or we're gonna get back into the thing where it takes 2 months. to get in there.
But 5.5 is still better than 8,
Yeah, no, I think that's. I think
And
that's
once you
reasonable.
anticipate that it's fully funded, they can go ahead and bid
Right.
they can go ahead and bid the project out. We've had other things come in, like the dewatering, and the change order will be something, but we have to this is my understanding of procurement. You have to fully fund whatever project you think that
Correct.
will be, and we would certainly be doing that because the figure actually is a little lower than that.
Well, that's why I was asking if it was like, if it's on a DCAM emergency kind of thing, you can kind of forego some of that stuff. But if it's not, you still have to go through the full bid, which is why I was asking, that's weird that you got plans without paying for it. I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't want to fault the guy who gave the plans, but I mean, he didn't get paid yet. There's no guarantee.
Yeah.
But so this is not under like the DCAM emergency, so you would still have to bring this out to bid anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're doing it in good faith by putting out an appropriation for what we think it's supposed to cost on a faith-based estimate.
Mhm.
And then if we have to increase it, or luckily if we get it cheaper, that'd be great. But if we have to increase it, then it would come back for further adjustment.
Mhm.
But we're not doing, at this point, we wouldn't be doing anything nefarious or
No, not at
illegal
all.
or anything, so.
And it wasn't part of a capital plan, but it is
Sure.
expenditure.
Yeah.
I didn't pull that group together either because it wasn't in like a 5-year capital plan,
Right.
but it is gonna come out of capital stabilization. I just needed to get the ordering because it was obvious it
Yeah.
needed to be fixed. We don't want anybody to get, my main thing was, we don't want anybody to get hurt
Yeah.
because the work is harder.
The reason I was saying that, just for anybody to know, not to belabor the process, but the rush on our end, from a city perspective is very different than the rush from a procurement perspective. So that's why I just wanted to point that out, like, we see this as a need, but we still have to follow the rules and regs, right? It's different than if it were like an absolute, like you said, if it were actually from an earthquake and you had to do it like tonight, like you can forego a lot of those things. So I just wanted to make sure that it was very clear, like, but again, I think it's smart, my opinion, and I would move to, put it for tomorrow's meeting to amend the order from, it was 800 to begin with, down to 550,000. As a recommendation from us, if that's copacetic with you guys.
Yeah, are we, I guess we should do it officially. Does someone want to second that? If I
Second it.
With second. All in favor?
All right.
So it's unanimous in favor. And And then, all in favor of the motion to fund the 550,000? That's unanimous positive also.
Well, let me ask you a stupid question. What if we did nothing?
I'm not sure. I don't think.
I'm sure someone's gonna ask that.
You got a job.
You know, someone's gonna ask that
I
question.
really don't think we were permitted to be loading the rubbish on the outside of the building. I was gonna reach out to DP and let them know that this is what we're doing right now. See what their thoughts are, because I think our permit says we have to keep it inside.
Okay. Well, that's a legitimate answer. That's fine. But I want to put it out there so it's on the.
Legitimate question.
Yeah.
Plus then you run
That's-
into all the freezing and thawing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snow, ice.
Well, floor itself is a hazard, so I mean,
Yeah.
it's gotta get done.
Great, well,
Okay,
that was our only agenda item tonight.
I'd like to make the motion. Yeah.
All those in favor?
I'll second it. Sorry.
That was
Don't say aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.